Hi Len.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting us today. Thanks for coming to the shop to tell us about yourself. So, firstly, can you do that? Can you tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Well, my name is Leonard Jackson, and I started in Chinese martial arts about 42 years ago, and I'm still doing it. But what I've learned is that I'm passing my knowledge now back to my students, because I started in a traditional Chinese system, and I did it for about 35 years, and then went and trained in sort of boxing and the traditional Western boxing, and I wanted to sort of blend different systems together. So you've got Chinese martial arts, you've got boxing, you've got kickboxing, you've got judo, you've got aikido, ninjutsu, then you've got all the tiger forms, you've got leopard, phoenix systems, monkey systems. You're bringing a collage, a painting of different forms of martial arts. And what I try to instill in my students is that you have to be flexible in your thinking. So I talk about be flexible, be fluid. I remember having that as a caption on my card: be fluid and be flexible. And everybody thought it was to be, you can stretch this way and stretch this way. But I didn't want to put a limit on what you're learning. So you learn one system, then you look at that system and you say, right, what can I get out of that system? So I come up with something. Someone said to me, you need to come up with a name. So I looked at my Jamaican heritage, and we are Maroons, my family bloodline. And I came up with loads of different names, like Tiger Fist, because I was born in 1962, the year of the tiger, so Tiger Fist. I came up with this, and it was very oriental, all these oriental type names, because of all the Chinese martial art films I watch, So I just said, after coming up with about 30 different names, and I said Maroon, and then I said Maroon Fist, and I said, yes, that's my Jamaican family line, and Fist is me, because I like to use my fists. I like to use my hands when I'm doing my Kung Fu moves. And then, of course, I had to then come up with a yin and yang logo, and me on fire, and then me holding it, holding the yin and yang sign, And I think that anytime you do any form of martial arts, you should have a complement of it. Like you have hard and you have soft. So too much hard movement is not good for the body. But you need to then complement it with something softer, like a bit of Tai Chi, or Qigong, a lighter form of martial art, which is healthy for your body. So that's what I truly think. And of course, Maroon Fist then started to grow, and I had to sort of work on the systems and changing them to suit me. But that doesn't mean because it suits me, it won't suit someone else, because what suits me may not suit someone else. So when I'm teaching my students now, I look at it and I go, okay, he does it different from me, but it works. It works really well. And and when I'm grading my students, I say, that works and it fits with you. So then I say, yes, you passed. Not because or they could do it better than me. They could do a kick better than me, or they could do a stance better than me. But they put their own slant on it. And that doesn't mean it's a failure. So I just think, you've got to big your students up, make them feel confident about themselves, and continue growing. So that's what I think. Everybody's different, but as an instructor, that's what I want to get.
Okay. So going back to the beginning, how did you get started in martial arts? So you started pretty young, right? How did you, and why did you get into it?
Well, I was working in a shop, and it was my Saturday shop. When I say Saturday shop, it was my Saturday job, and I met this wonderful guy. His name's Sapir Singh. He died at the age of 21, and at the time, back in the 70s, you had a lot of discrimination at that time, racial discrimination, and a lot of Asians, especially Indians and people from Pakistan, they were getting beaten up and so on. And Sabir Singh turned to me. I think he was about 15 at the time. He said to me, "There's a little ad in the paper, in the Evening Post." At that time, we didn't have phones and things. So he said to me, "Len, go down to Central Hall. Go down to Central Hall, and they're teaching Kung Fu down there." So I remember going into this old building at Central Hall, and it was a refuge for tramps, where they used to serve tea and hot food and so on. And I remember going up the stairs, and I saw this amazing instructor doing some moves and so on. And I said, I want to learn that. But in the same year, I was going, it was a Sunday, going to church. And of course, us as West Indians, us as West Indians went to church every Sunday. And I was just coming back from church, and I wanted to go to the cinema, because I saw this big poster with Bruce Lee on the poster. And someone said to me, "Where are you going?" I said, "Going to the cinema." I said, "What are you going to watch?" I said, "Oh," and this is Michael Daly. I said, "What are you going to watch?" And I goes, "I don't know, I'm just going to go and check it out. And I knew what I wanted to watch, and I was quite embarrassed because I didn't want to say I'm going to go and watch a Kung Fu film. And Michael Daly said, "Go and watch Enter the Dragon." And I went and watched Enter the Dragon. I was pretty young, because I got in there. I don't know how I got in, but I snuck in and sat down and watched the movie. And I said, that is what I want to do. That is what I want to do. And I've been consistent. And you've got to be bearing in mind that, you've got education and things. Kung Fu has to be put on the back seat because you want to, studies, because I love graphic design, art and painting and so on. So you have to put things back a little bit, yeah. But that's how I started. It was back in the 70s, and I started in traditional Laogar Kung Fu, and I just grew in it and gained myself a good degree.
Yeah, and went from there.
Yeah, went from there.
So, so you told me, I was going to ask about your Maroon Fist style, but you've kind of told me a bit about that already. So you, on your site, you talk about like 5 animals, and you talk about like kickboxing and Kung Fu in general. How like, if I came to your class, how would you teach those different elements? Do you mix them all in? Do you keep them separate? Like, how
well, you can mix them all in, because mixed martial arts is big now, and everybody talks about mixed martial arts. But if you got a student who just says, "Look, you know what? I just want to concentrate on the sport aspect of it," and all the big associations who endorses martial arts, in the sporting side of it, then you focus on the kickboxing element of it. So you're just concentrating on punching, straightforward punching, hooks, uppercuts and so on, round kicks, front kick, side kick and so on. So that's the kickboxing side of it, yeah? So you want to promote that, you develop your students through that. And then you got the flip side. And the flip side is the true traditional side. If you want to learn the forms, you want to learn the sets, you want to learn the characteristics of the animal, the way it actually moves, attack, backs up and so on, then that's completely different. That's when you want to go into the real deepness of it. Yeah? And then it's the same thing with the Tai Chi element. That is again another level. That's another deeper level of martial art. Yeah. So for me, you can bring all the elements together, but it depends on what the student wants from it. So if you came to me and you said to me, "Leonard, you know what? I want to go into tournaments." I mean, I had a tournament fighter, Damien Ryan, who came to me, and he said to me, and he's pretty tall, 6'4". He's a marathon runner, in excellent shape, And I trained him for about 3 years, and I put him into the World United Martial Arts Tournament. And he wanted to do the kickboxing, but he also wanted to do the Kung Fu side. and he said to me, "Yeah, you know, I'm ready." I said, "Damien, you're ready." He went in. He's never done any sport, never done anything. He was in his coming up to his mid-40s, and he got silver.
It's good.
Yeah, and then of course I got Elliot now, who specializes in the kung fu side. So he likes the snake and eagle claw, you know, that sort of thing, leopard fist. He takes that all on, and he also takes on the Tai Chi element of it. So again, you know, it's horses for courses. Then you got age, because don't forget your school is open to all age, you know. So you've got someone who is now say 60 or 70, and they want to learn from you. You're not going to teach them kickboxing, you know, because that's a different level, you know. It's a demand on the body. So you say to them, right, okay, this is going to suit you. So I think what we'll do is that we'll do some of the forms with you. We'll take you through some of the Tai Chi systems with you, and build you up. Or the yoga side, you know, that's another side of it as well. So that's more of the deepness side of it, the philosophical side of it. You know, so your school has to have an umbrella what suits the individual that comes. And another thing as well, which is really important, the respect element. I mean, we talk about respect. You go in and you bow to your teacher and so on. But the respect is a dual thing. I think respect is when you respect me and I respect you. You know, it's not you got to come in and respect me. You know, how did that work? You have to have the student chooses the instructor, and the instructor chooses the student. It's a two-way thing. It's running water. Yeah,
it's got to be an exchange, right?
Yeah, and I truly believe that. You know, I this sort of thing where you just come in. I'm not saying you've got to dismiss all the etiquettes. I think that's good. You know, you've got to have etiquette, and you have to have discipline, and you've got to have rules. Yeah, you've got to have them in there, because if you don't have any rules, you'll have chaos.
But then everyone's got to follow them, right?
Yeah, everyone's got.
You're not exempt from those rules. Right?
No. And the students that what come in, you know, they show respect to their fellow members as well as myself. You know, so I think it's important.
So, what's your plans for the future? What's the plans for your club? Where do you want to take it?
Well, where I want to take it now is I want to continue growing. I've just got BT has allowed me to teach BT employees.
Okay, that's good.
Well, BT has got. I can't tell you how many people they got working with BT, but as you know, BT is a big brand. And what we do now is that we do a boxercise course. You know, so people who are on the computer all the time, and you know, they don't do a lot of exercise. They can literally go across and they do boxercise with me. They can do self-defense as well. So we have self-defense applications, which we do with our students. You know, they come across and they say, right, who wants to learn self-defense? You know, and all age groups. You know, and come as you are. You don't have to put on any special kit. You know, when you walk on the street, you don't say, right, I'm going to change in a special kit to go out. You know, you go out as you are. You know, and when they come along and train with me, or to learn self-defense application, you come reasonably dressed. We don't expect girls to come along in sort of like short little mini skirts and say, right, I'm going to do some self-defense. Even though when they go out clubbing and so on, this is how they dress. But in this kind of controlled environment, there is got to be a degree of etiquette and a degree of
discreetness.
Discreetness, yeah, within reason. So we got that going on within BT, and which is a very good thing. But yeah, we're gonna continue growing, and we want to build Maroon Fist, you know, and I want to build the students as well. And I think it's important that as you learn it, you need to give it back. You know, give back your art or your skill or your knowledge back to your students. You know, so that's what I think, and I think it's important that you encourage them and make them feel confident about themselves. Because I grew up with not having a lot of confidence. You know, because my parents, well, my mother raised us but I didn't have a father figure around. So, you know, I didn't have much confidence.
Yeah.
You know, and always second guessing. You know, did I do that right? And someone said to me, Leonard, I seen that punch, but it was a good punch. It was good. And then I question someone. I go to my other students, you know, who I train with, and they say to me, was that good? And they go, yeah, Len, it was good. I saw you on the 9 trackers and it was fantastic. I said, was it that good? I'll try and go faster. I'll go quicker. You know, just double checking, you know, that kind of, and that's what I had that for a long time. And it was my, I don't know what you would want to call it. It was that thing on my shoulder, that little thing. And I think that kept me in check, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't think it was good enough. Even though
pushing you forward.
Yeah. I didn't think. Yeah. And someone said, Leonard, I saw you did a demonstration. Dave Clapworthy, you did a demonstration all in front of all those karate guys and so on, and they love what you did with the sword and so on. And that's one thing I liked about when I did that demonstration, in front of all those guys who did karate, and I did kung fu, and they had enormous amount of respect for me, because I can't remember how many people there was, but probably about nearly 1,000 people there. And I was the only person in a black suit, and I did a sword demonstration. I did non-trackers demonstration, and even the death squad was there. And they turned around and said, Leonard, that was really good. And I said, you sure it was? I was pouring with sweat, and they said, you sure it was really good? And I said, yeah. And even though everyone was clapping and saying, Leonard, that was really brilliant, I was still checking, saying, was it really good?
Yeah. Let me watch the video.
Yeah, let me watch the video. I said, yeah, it was good. So, you know, I think that's what kept my feet on the ground, you know, kept me grounded, you know, and not sort of, and of course you hear to people, after when time's gone by and you've got that slot in life where, you know, you're in your 20s and you're a great tournament fighter, you know, and you won trophies, and the years are rolling by, and you're no longer that person anymore. You're no longer in the limelight. I think that life is like a stage. You know, you're on the stage for one moment, and then the next minute you're not on that stage.
Well, and also I guess the fighting scene, it's very easy to see whether you're good or not.
Yeah.
Because if you've got lots of trophies and first places, then that's telling you that you're better than everyone else, right? Whereas the traditional martial arts doesn't have that.
No, traditional.
There's no way of really
engaging you,
saying you are the best.
No.
Or you are at the top of your game, or.
And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that, because there's nothing there to sort of say, if you're a traditional martial artist, to sort of say, right, we're going to have 2 traditional martial artists coming together. And when we use the word traditional, we're talking about someone who is using the elements of a fighting art. Yeah, you're using all the aspects of it. Yeah, like the crane, the monkey, all of that. We were talking about traditional martial art. But when you have that element, and then you have someone who's coming with Western fighting, which is quite fluid, you know, because sometimes the sets are quite, you know, stiff, and you know, and that kind of thing. It's very stiff looking. It's that fluidity I wanted to get into my system, because if you got a good boxer and you got a traditional martial artist, and he has his way about him, and he catches you with a good hook, or he catches you with a good punch, and knocks you out, and he says that your style is rubbish. It depends on who is behind the art, and how much work you put into your art. Yeah. But you're right. You cannot measure 2 traditional systems. You can't measure it. You can't get one from, say, Wing Chun and one from another system, and the 2 of them fight. You can't.
Well, they do their forms.
Yeah, or they do their forms.
Which is better.
Yeah. You just look at the form and say, well, guess what? He did a form, but he got into the splits, and he was better.
He did a backflip.
He did a backflip, so he was better. You know, but it's. I think it's because we as Westerners are so used to something moving. Yeah, something looks fantastic. If I did something slow, to the youngster, that's a bit boring. It's like, it's not exciting, you know. But if I jumped up and did cartwheels and so on, and loads of things, yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But you do the same thing in certain parts of the Far East, and you did a very slow move. They said, this guy really knows his stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
A deep martial artist would say, yeah, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
You know. But here in the West now, we want to do a high kick up here, something exciting, something explosive, and that's what, you know, Hollywood is all about. That's what Britain's all about. We've got to do something really exciting, something which is eye-watering, like the box split, you know, or I kick my leg right up here, and Hollywood loves all of that because it draws in the money. Yeah. But if you do something really slow, it's a bit too, in the Western eye, it's a bit boring, you know. It's not exciting, and it don't draw you to it. If I went out into the middle of the street and I started doing a very slow Tai Chi move, you know, probably the older people, the people of the 60s or something,
They think you're mad.
they think I've gone nuts. You know? What's he doing? They're not interested, and I think as a society, as you know, fitness is you know, when it comes to fitness, we're very slow at it. Yeah, I know that we won loads of gold medals and so on, but as a culture, we like to sit down so much. You know, we don't want to.
We won quite a lot of medals sitting down.
Yeah, we want a lot of
like rowing,
rowing and so on. You know, but I like movement. Yeah, I just love movement. Yeah.
So, just finally wrapping it up, can you tell us about your club, your details? So if someone wants to come train with you, where can they come?
Well,
what days, what times?
Well, they can, you know, because I train at home. I have my little hall there. They can come and find me there. They can come, you know, get hold of me on my mobile.
Okay. I'll put it at the bottom.
Yeah, and also we've got the website, so it's there.
Which is.
I can't remember it
Do you
now.
want me to tell them?
You can tell them.
I'll write it on the bottom.
Yeah, right at the bottom. And of course, you know, we got the Maroon Fist Facebook page, so people can get hold of me there as well. Fine. But and of course, you can Google Maroon Fist. You can Google Maroon Fist, and you get all of my details there. But you know, everyone's welcome. You know, and if you've trained already in martial arts, you know, the doors is open. And when it comes to attitude and so on, and hurting other students, I remember many years ago, somebody came into my club and they wanted to really beat up my students and so on. But I know my students can hold their own, and I know that I can hold my own. But I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to prove myself anymore. Is Leonard a great fighter? Is Leonard this and so on? I don't need to do that. If you're looking to beat up someone, there's the door. You know, there is the door. You know, you come to the wrong place. What we're here for is to pass our knowledge on to you, so that you can use it in the best possible way. But it doesn't mean that you can go out and start beating up and hurting other people, because we don't do that. We don't do that at all. But yeah, and the future is bright for us. You know, we want to continue growing. You know,
Good luck with it.
Yeah, thank you very much.